The circuit underwent renovations during the late 60s with the hope that modern facilities would entice the FIA to host a Formula One GP. After hosting a non-championship GP in '72, the attendance of over 100,000 people, the FIA agreed to host the championship GP the following year.
What's going on, guys, and welcome to Formula 7 Realistic. This is realistic performance, driver salaries, team budgets, driver academies, and team principles, all rolled into Formula 7 Realistic on a Wednesday night at 7:30, and also Formula 2 on a Tuesday night, all part of the same package. Sorry guys, 1 second.
When Max Verstappen set the fastest lap in the 2016 Brazilian GP, he became the youngest driver to have ever set fastest lap record at just a month over 19 years old. The current venue is now officially known as the Autodrome Jose Carlos Pace, after the famous Brazilian driver of the 1970s who had his first and only win in Sao Paulo. The Brazilian Grand Prix of 2008 was the scene of one of the closest title battles in F1 history. Lewis Hamilton shattered the dreams of Felipe Massa to take the championship in the final corner on the final lap of the race. Alain Prost has been the most successful driver at the Brazilian Grand Prix. He managed 6 victories between 1982 to 1990. 5 of these were at Rio de Janeiro circuit, with his 6th and final being here at Sao Paulo. Having been scheduled as the season finale multiple times from 2004, a number of F1 drivers have been crowned world champions here in Brazil. The circuit here at Sao Paulo is something of a throwback circuit. Built in the 1940s, it's been updated just enough over the years to meet the requirements of the FIA without destroying the track's essential character. Brazil has produced 3 world champions, all of which have won more than 1 world championship: Fittipaldi, Piquet, and of course, Ayrton Senna, who when winning his 3rd world championship.
Right, what's going on? Here we go. We are in Brasilia for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. We are on board with Sergio Silva, who is first out in that beautiful blue Williams, my Williams, who I announced this evening that I will be leaving to join Alpine, but it's just not going to be the same. So we are on board with Sergio Silva. You know, I feel like, cheers Banana, I feel like we've got a good opportunity to see a mix of drivers here today, because Brazil is one of them circuits where, as long as you stay in the DRS range, you won't really get shaken off. Like, say if a Red Bull is in front and they have a Haas driver behind them, they won't be able to shake them off as well as they can do around other circuits, because Brazil is one of them sort of tracks where the times differ ever so slightly, but there's not like a massive difference in it. So we are on board with Sergio Silva. And he's just coming up the hill towards turn 10. I know, Jack boy. Not seeing you on the circuit. Sergio Silva in towards turn 12. Agents out. Through 13 and down towards 14 he goes. DRS enabled. Down towards the line goes the Williams. And it's a 1:10.8 for the Williams driver. It is going to be Illyrian who's going to be next. I'm just going to call him Ryan. Illyrian, sorry, we'll go with Sackett. 1:09.0, way quicker than the Williams at the moment. Then we do have a Haas driver coming through. That is Podge. Podge back to the line, back on track as well. And Podge goes a 1:10.2. So just in front of the Williams. So the battle there getting very tasty indeed. Here comes Forza Ferrari. Forza Ferrari in the Mercedes goes P2. I don't know why Forza Ferrari is reserving for the Mercedes or Illyrian. I find that really strange actually, because you've got Sergio Silva in the Williams. Yes, Blandy, come and join, mate. So Sergio Silva, it's in his contract that if a Mercedes driver doesn't show up, that he will always get the first choice as the reserve. So I've not noticed that until now, that Sergio Silva should be driving for the Mercedes team. And either Illyrian or Forza Ferrari should be alongside him, and one of them should be in the Williams. Because Sergio Silva is supposed to have first dibs on any Mercedes seat if they need a reserve. That was in his contract when we signed him from Mercedes. Yeah, but now it doesn't matter. It's all about the drivers, really. If I need to find two reserves, it is what it is. But Sergio should, realistically, it's in his contract, should have been offered that Mercedes seat. Sergio Silva, the two Mercedes are at the top at the moment. We have Maxi Block in the Red Bull on a lap. What can he do? Up towards turn 5 at the Largo. Oh, he's invalidated it. He's invalidated it. Roix in the Alpine is on the lap now. So a few drivers starting to come out of the pit lane, get on them flying laps. Remember, this is only Q1. The interesting part, yeah, Forza, I know it's not your fault, mate. It's not your fault. You just took the seat that was available. But yeah, Sergio should have been in the Mercedes seat if they had a reserve spot, especially if they had two. But it's not the driver's faults. Right, so the championship, obviously, very tasty indeed. The top three separated by 32 points. That's Banter Brandon, B Right, and Maxi Block. Banter Brandon 17 points in front of B Right in that championship. In terms of the constructors, now this is where it gets very interesting indeed. So the Alpine need a good result today, but it is the Alfa Romeo, the McLaren and the Mercedes who are all separated by 21 points. And remember, them positions in the constructors are worth huge amounts of money in realistic. Huge. So keep your eye on that. Zimini. Sounds like something out of Green Street. Zimini. Zebedee. Yeah, Aston are there as well, absolutely. So here comes Zimini. Maximot goes fastest, and TTL Dennis on 185, half a second quicker than the Red Bull. Very tasty between the Red Bulls and the Ferraris at the moment. It's getting very intense. And Zimini in the Alfa Romeo goes P8. Banter Brandon is going to be next in the Scuderia. We will go on board with his flying lap. Yeah, yeah, Banana, I will have a word with Trubo and Billy. after the race, just to let them know that obviously it's in the contract, and I'm sure they know. I'm sure they're well aware of the contract with Sergio Silva, but I'm guessing they've just forgot, that's all. But I just feel for Sergio Silva, who should have had an opportunity tonight to race in the Mercedes. Right, okay. Enough of that anyway. It's done and dusted. Ginaudi in the AlphaTauri backs out. Splandy is in the Williams. He's reserving today. Let's see what he can do. Coming round turn 4 and 5 at Delago. There's a couple of drivers going slower there. Is that B Right on the lap in front? It is. Here comes B Right. He's 17 points behind the championship leader. 5 races to go, this being one of them. Down towards the line here in Q1. It should be enough to get through. It absolutely is. He goes fastest. Faster than the Ferrari as well. So, who is next? I think Splandy was still in the lap. He is. Here comes the Williams. Out of turn 13 he goes. And to the line. And it's a 1:09.9. Goes in front of the Alfa Romeo and the Haas. Banter Brandon is on a lap. So coming through sector 2 at the moment, the Scuderia. Yeah, but Aston Martin are missing a reserve, aren't they? CT08 absolutely took me out in fantasy, he did. But I just couldn't be bothered reporting it. Unless it really affects my race. It did really affect my race. I finished P10. Had I not have been taken out, I reckon I could have been higher. But anyway, Banter Brandon down towards the line goes the Ferrari driver. Goes P4. Senjo in the McLaren up to P3. What a lap from him. Reese in the Aston Martin. Nick as well. Nick has been on fire. I'm surprised a big team has not come in to try and get Nick. Henke in the Alfa Romeo is flying. Will be driving for the Alpine next season. Ginaudi, here comes Ginaudi, the new F7 steward, down towards the line he goes. It's a 1:10.5 for Ginaudi. Fanfness in the Alpine, just starting his flying lap as well. So Fanfness a 109.1. It's only P10. It's probably enough to get through, but you can't be too careful. So Podge is back out. Oh, he invalidates it. Sergio Silva is back out as well. He is improving actually. Sergio, a 1:10.2. He does improve. He goes in front of Podge this time, but it's just not enough to climb out that bottom 5 with 4 minutes to go. Banana, what do you mean losing P3? Oh, you mean on the rankings? Ah, you're lucky we reset it, mate.
UK, Roosevelt Raceway in the USA, and Montoya in France. The circuit underwent renovations during the late 60s with the hope that modern facilities would entice the FIA to host a Formula 1 GP. After hosting a non-championship GP in 72, the attendance of over 100,000 people, the FIA agreed to host a championship GP the following year. The 1973 Brazilian GP was won by none other than Emerson Fittipaldi on his home circuit. One of many things Sao Paulo is known for is its largest international population. The city of Sao Paulo has the highest concentration of Japanese natives outside of Asia and features the world's only traditional sumo gym outside of Japan. Having been scheduled as the season finale multiple times from 2004, a number of F1 drivers have been crowned world champions here in Brazil. In 2019, Max Verstappen's Red Bull became
Right, so Forza Ferrari is probably safe. He's down on his lap time. Splandy has come back out actually. So is Ginaudi. What's going on with Ginaudi? Every other driver has retired or not come out. Interesting.
Doing well in qualifying does not guarantee coming out on top in Brazil. F1 race was won by over a lap. Outside of Asia, and traditional sumo gym outside of Japan. As the Sao Paulo circuit.
So Ginaudi comes to the line. He has saved his ERS to go again. Podge is back out, so they're all really trying now. Splandy is going to be first to the line. All really on the brink here. They all want to get through Q1. Forza Ferrari only P12 in the Mercedes. Illyrian only P9. Ryan in the McLaren. Maxi Block being out qualified by Nick in the Aston, the Alpha, and Senjo in the McLaren. But here comes Splandy first to the line. He goes. It's going to be close. It's a 109.5. It's P14. It moves Jack down to be the driver at risk, but it's going to be Sergio Silva next. Then it's going to be Podge Jack, who's made it into Q3 a couple of times this season. Sergio Silva in the Williams. To the line he goes. Stays P16. Then comes the Swedish driver of Podge down to the line. Podge stays P17. Here comes Jack. He's not improving. He doesn't improve. It's down to Ginaudi, who is improving. Here comes Zimini. Zimini to the line. Goes P18. It's going to be Ginaudi. Ginaudi stays P17. Jack makes it through once again here in Brasilia. So there you have it for Q1. B Wright goes fastest in the Red Bull. It's Dennis in the Ferrari that's right behind him, and there's Senjo in the McLaren in P3. 3 different teams in the top 3, 5 different teams in the top 6. So down to the bottom 5, the business end of Q1. Zimini in the Alfa Romeo will go out in P19. Podge in the Haas will go out in P18. Ginaudi in the Alfa Tauri goes out in P17. And then Sergio Silva in the Williams just missing out in P16. Jack making it through once again in the Haas. Splandy in the Williams also getting through. And both Mercedes once again through to Q2. Yeah, I know, Alvaro, thank you. I was just playing Brasilia, I mean Brazil, but it's Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Thank you. People actually get confused because Brasilia is it the capital of Brazil, but everyone thinks it's Sao Paulo or something like that anyway.
The current venue is now officially known as the Autodrome Jose Carlos Pace, after the famous Brazilian driver of the 1970s who had his first and only win in Sao Paulo. The circuit underwent renovations during the late 60s with the hope that modern facilities would entice the FIA to host a Formula 1 GP. After hosting a non-championship GP in 72, the attendance of over 100,000 people, the FIA agreed to host a championship GP the following year. The 1973 Brazilian GP was won by none other than Emerson Fittipaldi on his home circuit. The circuit here at Sao Paulo is something of a throwback circuit. Built in the 1940s, it's been updated just enough over the years to meet the requirements of the FIA without destroying.
Yeah, you're right, Alvaro. Everyone does think Rio is the capital. I suppose I just said. I forget you know a lot about Brazil. Illyrian is first out in the Mercedes. He does have a Red Bull catching up to him though. It's always Maxibot. Maxibot not playing once that lead straight away. Remember, it's a full dry race. Yeah, kind of like New York and Washington, exactly, yeah. Right, guys, I'm all yours. I just had to finish my dinner, that was all. Right, Maxibot down towards the line. It's a 1:08.7 for the Red Bull driver. I think Illyrian slowed down even more to let an Alpine through, actually. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, Roykes. Here comes Roykes in the Alpine. 1:09.2, half a second off. Then here comes Splandy in the Williams. Then a couple of Mercedes. Splandy to the line. Goes P3. Illyrian has invalidated it, so who's going to be next. Owen in the Aston Martin goes P2, faster than the Alpine. That is the battle in the Constructors. Forza Ferrari just starting his flying lap. Interesting battle. So, Forza Ferrari is on a lap. What can he do though? Oh, that was close. So here comes Forza to the line, goes P5. So the Williams stays ahead. Illyrian in the Mercedes goes fastest in Q2 with a 1:08.5. So Illyrian is quickest. Senjo in the McLaren is now on a lap as well. So we will go on board with the Norwegian. We have a few Norwegians on the track today. So all the way down towards the Lago at 4 and 5. And then up the hill towards Ferradura. Larangina through turn 7. And then through Pinarino at turn 9. And up towards Debeto at turn 10. Down towards Magulo. I'm trying to pronounce these, see if I get any right, and then Alvaro can go, no, it's not pronounced like that, and then I'll know for next time. Yeah, I was waiting for that, Alvaro. Yeah, I need some Portuguese classes. I'm trying anyway. Ryan goes fastest in the McLaren. A 1:08.5, very tight indeed, but he beats the Mercedes. So the two McLarens in the top 3 in Q2. Banter Brandon is on a lap as well. Fanfinis is in front of him though. We've got Reese on a lap. So Be Right is just starting his flying lap, but we go on board with Fanfinis in the Alpine, who's coming down towards Junchao. DJ Harvey, I can't interview you, mate. Because I'm pretty sure you're banned from the interview box. I've still not sorted it out. I did have a look, but I couldn't find it. Fanfinis does set a lap. It's a 1:08.9, doesn't move position. Banter Brandon is going to be next in the Ferrari. Down towards the line. And Banter Brandon only P7. He's going to definitely have to go again. TTL Dennis and Henke also on a lap. Dennis is going to be next, who's absolutely flying the Belgium. Down towards the line for Dennis. Goes fastest. What did you expect? Here comes Be Right to the line in the Red Bull. 17 points behind Banter Brandon. Goes fastest. He looks rapid here in Brazil. So Banter Brandon now down to P9, and he's got a couple of quick drivers behind him. He's going to have to find some improvement in this lap time. He does have 7 minutes to go though. Yeah, Harvey, we'll sort it out after the stream, definitely, mate. Henke goes P4. Now, the driver at risk is Banter Brandon, who is your championship leader.
making it one of the shorter circuits raced in recent years. Having been scheduled as the season finale multiple times from 2004, a number of F1 drivers have been crowned world champions here in Brazil.
So every single driver back in the pit lane. Just getting ready for this this last run, aren't they, really? Getting ready to fly around again. Because this will be it. 5 minutes to go to get into Q3. And in Brazil, positions, especially the inside line, a lot of drivers will be looking for that P2 starting position. So, 15 only. Yeah, in Q2, but Mels. Banter Brandon is on an outlap. So, he is not messing around. He knows he is at risk here. He is absolutely at risk. I don't think he would have wanted to waste a set of tyres. Maybe, actually. Maybe he went out on used tyres at first and now he's coming out on fresh. Yeah, two drivers on the same time. Nick and Banter Brandon. 109.027. So, here we go. Banter Brandon, he is improving purple sector 2. What was all the fuss about? What was all the fuss about? Down towards the line he goes. And it's P7. Ooh, wow. That is still very sketchy. Yeah, he's used his ERS. Roix is going to be next. Roix, super Roix, super Roix. The Alpine, Roix, down towards turn 12. Here we go, through sector 3 goes the Alpine. Here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Down towards the line. Here he comes. It's a 108. It's a 108.8. And it's P9. But not quick enough to take out Banter Brandon. Maximock also in P8. Doesn't look like he's improving. Illyrian says that's enough in the Mercedes AMG Petronas. So Nick is on an outlap. So is Reese. Splandy. Forza. Oh, this is going to be close. I still think Brandon might be safe here. I do. Out of Q2. So, who is going to be the first of the runners? It is going to be Reese. Maximock, actually, as well. I don't think Maximock's improving. Now, I know that Brandon might be safe, but I think Maxi should be a little bit worried here. He is actually improving, though. So, we'll see. Jack made it into Q2 Banana in the Haas. Brilliant. Maximock is improving. He is still going for it. He is still going for it. What was all the fuss about? That does move Banter Brandon now down to P8, though. Roix is building up for another go, you know. Keep your eyes on Roix. I think he is building up for another go. He's not built his ERS up, though. Fanfinis is on an outlet. Oh, he's getting a toe off his teammate. Brilliant teamwork from the Alpines. This is what you like to see. Fantastic stuff, and just gets that little toe. Well done to the Alpine team here in Brazil. Fanfinis knows he needs to do something here. DRS enabled. Reese is also on a lap. He is improving. Nick is on a lap. Reese just coming up to an Alfa Romeo now. DRS enabled. ERS is on. Can Reese get into the top 10 in the Aston Martin? It's going to be close. He doesn't. It's P11. Here comes Nick. So Reese is out in Q2. Nick goes P9. Royks down to P10. Royks is on the verge of being knocked out by his own teammate that he gave a toe to. He said, here's a bit of slipstream. Here's some help to get into Q3. But in doing that, he's given himself out of Q3. Oh, Fanfinis has done for. He's done it. He's messed it up. Oh, he's just saved him. Royks, the heavens watching down on him, knows that he did a good deed and gave him one back and said, Fanfinis, not today. Fanfinis goes out in Q2. Forza and Jack still to go. Did he get held up? Forza's out. So it's only Jack to go. So the Red Bull just pulls over to the side. Here goes the Haas driver of Jack, the only driver that can get through now. And it's Royks waiting in anticipation here in Sao Paulo, getting a bit of a slipstream off of Mercedes there as well, who's trying to get to the line. And Jack doesn't do enough, and he is out. He did well in the Haas, and Royks is safe. Wow. Wipe the sweat away, Royks. You are through.
And although the thinner oxygen reduces drag, it results in 13% loss of engine power.
So B-Right is fastest once again in Q2, and then comes the two Belgians of Dennis and Maximock in the Ferrari and the Red Bull. Henke, look at that, absolutely rapid. But going out in Q2, it's Jack in the Haas. His fun stops there. Splandy in the Williams in P14. Forza Ferrari in the Mercedes, not able to get through. Reese in the Aston Martin in P12, and Fanfinis in the Alpine in P11. Just goes out. His teammate of Royks just goes through.
After hosting a non-championship GP in 72, the attendance of over 100,000 people, the FIA Emerson Fittipaldi on his home circuit. Of all the drivers who start on pole,
so we are in to the business end of qualifying into Q3, and it's the Mercedes of Valerian who's going to be first out. It'll be interesting to see what he does. So remember guys, exclamation mark Discord in the chat if you want to come and be a part of Formula 7 racing, one of the best racing leagues in the world. We have our Sunday division, that's bronze, silver and gold. That's 10 a.m, 12:30 p.m, and 7 p.m. Then we have Fantasy F7 on a Monday. Your team, your logo, your livery, your Formula 1 team. That is every Monday at 7:30. Then we have Realistic on a Wednesday. That's 7:30. That is team bosses, driver salaries, team budgets, realistic performance, and driver academies, which is on Tuesdays at 7:30. So you have 4 days of fun-packed racing to fill your boots with. And then you have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday all free, unless we do our Formula 7 podcasts on a Saturday. We've actually not done one for a few weeks. We will definitely do one this Saturday. It's very, very hard to do stuff like that, especially like when you're the only one that can really set it up and do it. And when you've got 4 days of racing and 4 days of setting races up and doing stand-ins and doing incidents and everything else that goes with it, and then trying to work as well. Like I'm working this week Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 11-hour shifts. And then to do all of that, do a podcast, do all the racing, all the leagues, and it's like, Jesus, like, and then spend time with the family, you know, it's hard. That's why sometimes I don't get round to doing the podcast, because Saturday evening seems like the only real time I get with the family. So, but I will definitely try and do a podcast this weekend. Here comes Illyrian, down towards the line he goes, and it's a 108.8 for Illyrian. So the next driver is going to be Banter Brandon. He's not hanging around like he did in Q2. Eight minutes to go. Banter Brandon is going to be next to the line. The yellow flag's waving. We will sort that out. We will sort that out, definitely. So just yellow flags for the drivers moving out the way. So here comes Banter Brandon out of turn 13. Down towards the line, it's provisional pole. Provisional pole for the Ferrari driver of Banter Brandon. Then's going to be the McLaren of Sendro. No, the other McLaren is through first. That's Ryan Dipavine who goes provisional pole. A 108.3 for Ryan Dipavine. He's been on fire here. Here comes Sendro, who's going to be next. But then there's going to be Dennis, who comes starting first. Goes even faster, a 108.0. Here comes Sendro, 108.2. Here comes Wright with a 109.1. Then the Red Bulls, it's going to be Maxibok, who's always first. Goes P3. These are all fighting for the championship, all in the top three. Banter Brandon, B Wright and Maxibok. Here comes B Wright now. Needs to get a good qualifying position in the race. Down to the line, he's gone fastest in Q1 and Q2. Now goes provisional pole in Q3, a 107.9. The first driver to hit the 107s today. Every driver has set a lap apart from Nick, who's just coming round now. Red Bull just moving out the way of the Aston Martin. So here comes the Aston. Oh, and he loses the race. Just a slight lock up. I think he just wants to get that banker lap, then he can go back into the pits. So down towards turn 12. So he's going to lost a little bit of time. Yeah, I think he's just going to pit. He is. He's not going to set that banker. He's just going to have to go again. Henke went P6 in the Alfa Romeo as well. And anybody watching this and thinking, oh, not a bad race, this is realistic performance, and you are watching an Alfa Romeo in the top 6 in front of a Ferrari and a Mercedes, an Aston and an Alpine. That is with a realistic engine. So yeah, incredible. just shows really what sort of level Henke is on actually.
As the Sao Paulo circuit sits 800 meters above sea level, the race is
He's absolutely incredible.
consideration. The
He
cars
really is.
require more downforce than they do at sea level, and although the thinner oxygen reduces drag, it results in 30.
What's that? Sorry. Only one quality, otherwise I put your other driver even more. Here comes the lady, and he went purple sector 2. He had a little snap of oversteer though. Is he going to box? He is. Illyrian thinks better of it. He's going to come into the box and just start again. So every driver's into the pit lane. Yeah, Henke is signed for Alpine for next season. As have I, for the team principal role. Definitely Saro. Yeah, Reese was very unlucky, but you've got Nick just in there as well. Yet to set a lap time though. Go Aston, says the Aston Martin team principal. So, all the drivers getting ready to go again.
At the 2019 Brazilian Grand Prix, the last time two drivers took the first podium finish in the same race was back in 1994 at the German Grand Prix.
And
The current venue is now
I am your commentator. Look at that, eh? Look at him. Look at him down there. Your commentator there. Where shall I put him? Shall I put him like here? There's your commentator, the number 27.
Brazil has produced
Hey.
3 world champions, all of which have won more than one world championship. Fittarelli, Piquet, and of course,
There's your commentator.
who when winning his third world championship in 1991 became the youngest ever to do so at the time.
Yeah. So, no driver is still coming out of the pit lane. They're all just waiting, aren't they?
Does not guarantee coming out on top in Brazil. The Brazilian Grand Prix of 1994 was won by over a lap. The circuit's renovation.
Here comes Nick. Has Nick not got a seat for next season? That's crazy. Is that what I've just read? I was just saying as well how Nick hasn't gone to one of the big teams is beyond me. And that is crazy to think that Nick might not have a seat. I hope he has, but he should be at one of the big teams. It's like Panda. Panda is, for me, should be on the track in either a Mercedes or a Red Bull or a Ferrari. To sit as a reserve driver and just wait for one of them not to turn up, which doesn't happen very often, especially with Fanfinus and B right next season. When is the only time they're not going to turn up to race? So for me, I feel like that's a real waste for Panda, and we won't see him racing realistic next season. And he should be definitely on the track with a big team. Yeah, I hope so, Banana, because Nick should be at one of these big teams. He should definitely be on track next season. I'll be very surprised if Nick isn't racing in next season's realistic. Very surprised. We are on board with Nick, though. Where did everything go? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So this is the last run here in Q3. Who's going to start on pole position for Formula 7 Realistic? Coming through Sector 2. Here's the Aston Martin driver up the hill towards Turn 10. Down in towards Turn 12 and up the hill now. DRS enabled. DRS is on. The checkered flag has waved here in Sao Paulo. This is it. The Aston Martin have nicked to the line. Aston Martin goes P8. That is going to be his best qualifying. Here comes Roix down towards the line in the Alpine. Where will he go? P9. Nothing more the Alpine can do. Here comes the Alfa Romeo of Henk, who is still improving. Unbelievable. We know he won't get pole position in that car, but where will he put it? Down towards the line he goes. P6 he stays. Here comes the Ferraris. It's going to be Dennis who goes first. Dennis takes provisional pole. Here comes Banter Brandon. Brandon goes up to P3. It's Sendra in the McLaren to the line. Stays P4. Here comes the Red Bull. It's going to be Maxibot, the Belgium, to the line first. Maxibot goes P2. Here comes P right down to the line. Goes P3. P3, Ryan has backed out and Dennis takes pole position here in Brazil. The two Red Bulls will be right behind him, and then the Ferrari of Brandon, who leads the Drivers' Championship, will start on the second row of this grid. But it's the Ferraris and the Red Bulls that dominate once again here in Realistic. What's going on, Red? I hope you're having a good holiday. So Dennis takes pole position here in Sao Paulo and will start on the front row of this grid. Alongside him, it's a Belgian front row. Maxibot in the Red Bull in P2. It's a British second row with B Wright in the Red Bull in P3. And Banter Brandon alongside him in P4, separated by 17 points in the Drivers' Championship in favour of the Ferrari. Sendra on the third row of the grid in the McLaren, alongside him Hilarion in the Mercedes in P6. On the fourth row of the grid, Ryan in the McLaren in P7, alongside him Henke in the Alfa Romeo in P8. TTL Nick on the fifth row of the grid in P9 in the Aston Martin, alongside him Roix in the Alpine in P10. Hey Senjo, wait till the update comes and your McLaren's just as fast as the Red Bull. Because when the update comes, I think it'll turn it on its head, and I think McLaren will be rubbing their hands together. I really do. And obviously, if the season ends, yeah, exactly, Banana, the next season's going to be amazing, because the season's going to end in F1, and they're not going to update them. So McLaren is just going to be right up there with Red Bull, just behind them. Could win the championship, definitely. Yeah, Senja, it's pretty quick, but it's going to be even quicker. Here we go for the Brazilian Grand Prix in Formula 7 Realistic, sponsored by Rock Solid Rigged. And his lights out and away we go. Nick gets past Henke straight away. Here comes Dennis. Maxibot does have the inside line. I said about that P2 going down into turn 1. The Ferrari and the Red Bull wheel to wheel, side by side. Maxibot has the inside line into turn 2. Down the DRS straight they go. And literally side by side, there's nothing to separate them as they go down towards turn 4. We said the stronger position was P2, and it absolutely is, as the Ferrari goes out wide. Banter Brandon has passed his championship rival. 17 points separate him in the championship, and Banter Brandon is through already on the Red Bull. Sendra in the McLaren is there in P5 as well. His teammate of Ryan Dijperveen in P6, he's made up positions as well. He's got the Mercedes of Illyrian right behind him, the Alfa Romeo of Henke there as well. Unbelievable start for these drivers. What a start for the championship leader of Banter Brandon, who's passed his closest rival. But Maxibot winning the race, that is great for him, who's third in this drivers' championship. Reese is up 3 places. Nick lost 3. Jack's up 1 on Splandy as well. Podge makes up a position. But Zimini still at the back of this grid at the moment. Here comes Dennis into the slipstream of Maxibot. Down into turn 1 they go. Into the centre S's. And the Ferrari around the outside of the Red Bull. They have a little coming together now. As we just watch them come through the S's. And Maxibot just stays in front. Incredible battle. B right on the back of Banter Brandon now. Oh, they go again. Here we go. A freeway scrap. They are really giving it to each other on lap 2 here. Maxi Block and Dennis, the 2 Belgium drivers, giving each other a lot of respect. And Dennis is now back in the lead of this Grand Prix. One championship that Maxi Block is looking to win. Remember, he's only 30 points behind these with 5 races to go. So Reese, what a start by the Aston Martin of Reese. Up to P9. Ryan getting past Illyrian in the Mercedes. DRS will be enabled this lap. Is Maxibot going to go back into the slipstream? He is. But just stays behind this time. Banter Brandon is closing in on that Red Bull as well. So DRS is now enabled. We'll see them overtakes start to come into play. Here comes Maxibot. DRS enabled. Down the inside he goes. We said it was going to be strong. Wheel to wheel. The front 2 once again. The 2 Belgian drivers in the Red Bull and the Ferrari. There's nothing that can separate them. And the Ferrari just edging back in front. Then comes the 2 McLarens. A huge DRS train. Even the Alfa Romeo is still there. I said it's very hard to shake off a driver when that DRS kicks in. The Alpine, the Mercedes as well. Forza Ferrari. Then you've got the Haas of Jack doing well to stay with these. He's still in that DRS range. Reichs right on the back of his teammate of Fanfinus. Reese, Henke, Illyrian, Ryan, Senjo. B right with that DRS now. Here we go. This is it. Maxibot, the 2 Belgian drivers, about to trade positions once more. Down into turn 1 they go, and Maxibot is in front. But will Dennis get that DRS down towards turn 4? Through the centre S's they go. And the McLaren's just trading places at the back there as well. No, it's the Mercedes. The Alfa Romeo goes through. The Alfa Romeo of Henke goes through. Here comes the Alpine's trading position. And the Alpine making up 2 positions. 3 positions. Can he make up 3? Down in towards turn 4. Unbelievable move from Fanfinus. Past his teammate. Past Reese. Now going for the move on the McLaren. Unbelievable. Look at this. The Alfa Romeo and the McLaren nearly touch as well. Oh, the Alpine's been spun by the Aston. The Aston Martin spins the Alpine. Very unfortunate. Remember, ghosting is not on. Maxbox still leads it. Doing really well. So, tyres, all pretty much mediums, apart from the ones at the back who've gone for that longer stint, obviously. And hoping for the strategy to pay off. Here comes Dennis once again. Every lap these guys are trading places. Here comes B right. Here goes Dennis as well. The 2 Ferraris and the 2 Red Bulls squabbling here in Brazil. Oh, Henke and Reese have both paid. Did they have damage? Here goes B right. Brandon does give him the room. And the 2 championship contenders. But Brandon stays in front. Oh, he's been hit. Oh, he's been hit by the McLaren of Senjo. B-Right did so well to keep that car. Unbelievable. That could have ended in disaster for a driver that is fighting for the World Championship. Did he lose DRS? He's trying to use his battery to get it back, but it looks like he might have lost it. There is a driver that spun. That is Nick in the Aston Martin that has spun. And that is Maxi Block that retakes the lead of this Grand Prix. B-Right did lose that DRS. He's trying to get it back. So that little tap from Senjo really affecting his race, but he is back inside that DRS range. Here comes Jack on Forza Ferrari. He's going to have that DRS as well. Jack in the Haas on the Mercedes. Here we go, down the inside of turn 4, and Jack has made the move. Here comes the Alpine as well. The Mercedes goes wide. Roix in the Alpine. Is he going to try and make the move? I think he'll be patient and wait. He will. He knows he'll have the run on the Haas driver. There goes the Williams. What a move from Splandy. Forza Ferrari getting swallowed up. Sergio Silva just being overtaken by Nick. So Henke's gone for that undercut. Dennis has fallen off Maxi Block a little bit. B-Right is back in that DRS train. Illyrian trying to stay on, but he's struggling now. He is struggling to stay with these guys. Nick says he's out the lobby. Are you sure? There goes Fanfinus on Ryan. I've seen it. It said he joined. No, because if he was out the lobby, he wouldn't have been able to overtake Sergio. That's Jack and Roix. Roix and Jack side by side they go. Good move by the Alpine. Good racing by the pair of them. Jack just hoping for some points today. If he gets in the points in the Haas, remember it's 10 million for their team. So be right back on the rear diffuser of his championship rival. .29 laps to go. Can Dennis take that position back off Maxi? Can Banter Brandon? That is the question. That's what he needs. I think what Dennis needs to do here. There goes Ryan on Fanfinus. The two Dutchies trade places. I tell you what I think they should do here is. I think Dennis should not go for the move on Maxi. There goes Maxi once again. Exactly why. I don't think he should go for the move. I think he should hold off. Here goes Fanfinus on Ryan. I think Dennis should hold off until the next DRS straight and then go for the move and hope Brandon can get the move as well, or let his teammate go through and then both try and go for the overtake, or let his teammate get close and both go for the DRS or Maxi Block, and then try and keep Banter Brandon in front, obviously. But they need to be strategic here. I'm sure Alvaro is obviously telling him this and explaining the situation to the drivers. But I think Brandon and Dennis, they need to both get closer to Maxi and try and make the move at the same time to avoid Maxi coming back at them. I don't know if Dennis might wait this time. Yeah, I think he is. And Brandon is there as well. So they will be close. This will be close. The two Ferraris might have a chance here. So Dennis has stayed right on the rear diffuser, but you've got a lot less space to go for the move. Here comes Dennis. Dennis once again. And Dennis will move back in front of Maxi Block. And there's no way Maxi Block can come back at him this time. That leaves Banter Brandon on the back of him. Jack is still with Roix, you know. He's got that DRS and he's staying with him. Fair play to the Haas driver. Remember, Illyrian is on them hard tyres. Do not count him out yet because he's going for a completely different strategy. I can't believe McLaren set the fastest pit stop in the world record for the fastest pit stop ever in Qatar. 1.8 seconds. That's mad. That's literally like the blink of an eye. Well, it's a bit longer than a blink of an eye, but you know what I mean. Here comes Maxi to change the positions again. Maxwell back in the lead. Dennis and Banter Brandon are very close this time. Brandon a little bit of a snap. But it needs to be a bit closer if they want to make the move. Here comes Splandy on Jack. But with that DRS, nothing he can do. Zimini through on Podge. Great overtake by Zimini there in the Alfa Romeo. And up to P14 he goes. Forza Ferrari on the back of Reese. These guys have already paid. Here comes Forza Ferrari in the Mercedes on the Aston Martin. And the Mercedes is through and up to P18. So look how close the Red Bull is here. And the two Belgian drivers for the 10th lap in a row will trade places. And Max Bock is back in front of that Ferrari. What can Dennis do? He needs Maxi to make a mistake here. He's got his teammate on the back of him. B-Right did make a slight mistake. And he's lost a little bit of time to Banter Brandon. Now he has Sendra and the McLaren on the back of him. And TTL Dennis is back into the lead of this Grand Prix. Can Maxi make a move? He is right on the back of that Ferrari. He's having to slow down. This is giving Brandon a great opportunity to catch. Look at this. What a DRS train for the race victory. The pit stops are going to be huge around here. Absolutely massive. We've not had a single sort of big crash. We've not had a single safety car or even a yellow flag. Fantastic racing by all here. So, here comes the Red Bull and Maxi once again on TTL Dennis. And every single lap, it's like deja vu. Here comes Banter Brandon as well. He's taking a look. They are very, very close to that Red Bull. They need to get that double overtake done to stand a chance at taking that Red Bull out of this race. So is Illyrian going to start catching up on them hard tyres? We shall see. Oh, the Red Bull is going for it. Here comes Maxi. Oh, goes right and left. And he's going to go for the inside line this time. And he does. And Illyrian is 2.2 behind. Here comes Ryan on Fanfinus. Jack has just started to lose pace to Roix. Does he go for the undercut? He can't lose anything by taking a gamble. So be right. Look how close he is to Banter Brandon. If the race stays like this, Banter Brandon will be 20 points in front of B Right going into the final 4 races. B Right season opening. Isn't able to take it. But I think the undercut might be pretty big here. Remember, they've got to go onto hard tyres. Was that a mistake? Was that a mistake by Maxi? I think that was a mistake. This is going to give an opportunity, surely, to Banter Brandon. This is exactly what Ferrari needed. If Banter Brandon gets through on Maxi block, surely the Ferrari has to swap positions. Down into the center S's they go. And Maxibot's made another mistake. Another one. This is the opportunity that Brandon's been waiting for. Max is starting to feel the heat in that helmet. It's like Qatar. Splendy is thrown Jack. Finally the Williams driver, and they both get a bit of a rough shove there as well. And I think Jack might be a little bit pissed off with that. I didn't mean to say that, but yeah, Splendy with a bit of a lunge, I think, and Jack pushed out wide and loses another position. I know he's been getting a bit vexed over things lately, but this is racing. Things are going to happen. Incidents are going to happen. And you're going to have collisions with other drivers. Hopefully it wasn't as bad as it looked when we went on board. There goes Pod, John Ginaldi. Look at these guys at the back as well. Keep an eye on these because these are on the hard tyres. I know. I forget sometimes. Podge on the back of Ginaldi. There goes Ryan. Ryan on Fanfinus. So Maxibok on Dennis. And he made 2 mistakes the last lap. But he's not making any this lap as he goes on through. And back to the lead of this Grand Prix. Can Dennis come back at him though? Without the DRS. He's going to try. Round the outside he goes. Oh, and he's made a snap. And banter Brandon. I think he'll back out of that. He will. But that might give B Right an opportunity at the back of them. There goes Nick on Splendy, who's up to the top 10. Splendy having a collision with Nick. Oh, wow. They were locked together. Like they were a married couple coming round turn 4 there. So, Sendro, here comes B Right, DRS enabled. TTL Dennis looks a bit far back this time. Jack and Nick still squabbling. Jack's got his hand up in the air. Illyrian, Sendro pits. Sendro's gone for the undercut in the McLaren. So, Sendro is the first driver on track to pit. Here comes Nick. On Jack. Jack does have DRS as well though. Where is Sendro going to come out? Zimini is from Sergio. Sergio's into the pit. So is Ginaldi. So going for that undercut. Will it work? Where does Sendro come out? Jack is through on Splendy. And back into the top 10 goes the Haas driver. Oh, there goes TTL Dennis on Maxibot. Wheel to wheel again down into the center S's. And it really is going to come down to pit strategy, isn't it? Fanfinis is into the pit lane now. Where is Sendro? Remember, he's on the fresh hards. He's coming to a bit of open space as well. He is behind Reut. Maxibot retakes the lead of this Grand Prix. Oh, Dennis has gone wide. Brandon's through. B Right's through. He's made a huge mistake. It was bound. One of the drivers were bound to make a mistake sooner or later. And there it is. It was TTL Dennis who originally succumbed to that mistake. Fanfinis, it's just coming out the pit lane. Here comes Sendro. He's on them fresh tyres. He does not want to be held up. And look at the pace of Reut to Sendro. Completely different strategies, and Reut's trying to do his best to hold the McLaren up. Remember, these are in a huge championship fight, a constructors fight. So these guys stay out, and Dennis is in. Dennis is into the pit lane. So where is he going to come out in terms of Sendro? Sendro just coming out of the final couple of chicanes. Round turn 13 and 14 he goes. Where is Dennis? in the pit lane, onto the hard tyres, on his way out. Here comes Senjo down the pit straight. Dennis coming to the end of the pit straight. I think Senjo is going to beat him out. Senjo is past Dennis. Senjo coming through the centre S's, and Dennis, that undercut is huge from Senjo. He's going to be out 5 seconds in front of Dennis here. That is massive. Dennis, if Senjo's that far in front of them, imagine where he's going to be in terms of Maxwell, Brandon and B. Wright. This could be a huge undercut from Senjo. 3.2 behind Senjo now, Dennis is. And he's lost the DRS. So he made a mistake, but he's gone for the undercut, Dennis. So now's the question. Remember, the Red Bulls can't double stack. Maximock stays out. Banter Brandon goes in. B. Wright stays out. The Red Bulls have stayed out. Unbelievable. Banter Brandon is in. I think they might report Maxi for that. He went to go into the pit lane and then cut the pit lane entrance. And as we all see, the new rule is you cannot, under any circumstances, cut the white lines. And that seemed a bit, yeah. Senjo, where is Senjo going to come out towards Banter Brandon? Banter Brandon just coming out of the pit lane. Senjo, where's Dennis? Banter Brandon and Dennis, look at this. They're side by side as they're coming out of the pit lane and round the last corner. And Dennis returns just in front of Banter Brandon, but Senjo is 3.6 seconds in front of the Ferraris. Unbelievable. Oh, Maximot nearly lost his rears then. So, Splendy and Nick, the Williams and the Aston Martin. Oh, they've come together. The Williams and the Aston Martin. I think that's the second time. Then Jack. I think Jack got damaged as well. Oh, he's not going to be happy with that. Oh, Jack has got damage now. He has. Maybe Fanfinus as well. Illyrian in the Mercedes is pitted. Senjo is through. So, Roix has left the session. Down in P17. So, the two Red Bulls have stayed out here. They are now 4.1 seconds off the McLaren. Unbelievable. And then you've got Ryan there as well. So, the two Haas drivers into the pitch. Jack has gone for softs. Splendy for mediums. Zimini on the mediums. I don't know if this is the best strategy for Red Bull here. Or are they going for mediums to softs? Wow, but it's one of them. Once you're stuck in that DRS, it don't really matter what tyres you're on, you're sort of stuck, aren't you? But they are working together here, the Red Bulls. They're keeping that DRS. If they can make this work, brilliant. Let's keep an eye on the thing to the leader. The interval to the leader. So Max Bock retakes the lead of this Grand Prix. They are trying to work together. So they are around 17 seconds in front of the Ferraris. I just want to see if that stays like that. Nick is into the pit lane now as well. Here comes Gennady on Sergio Silva. Senjo's thrown his teammate. No holding up from Senjo. Well played from the McLaren team. Ryan letting Senjo through. They know what's at stake here. So Nick and Roix into the pits. So Banter Brandon and Dennis still 17 seconds behind the Red Bulls. So they are not losing time. There goes Maxi into the pit lane. Maxi is into the pits. B. Wright stays out. So the lead is now 16. So they did lose a second there. This is the question. Where does he come out? Where does Maxi? Maxi's gone for softs. Maxi's gone for the softs. Banter Brandon is already coming down the pit lane. Maxi Block is going to be passed by both Ferraris, but I tell you what, they are not that far in front of the Red Bull here. Not as far as Sendro is. So, they can see him in the mirrors. There's Illyrian as well. But on the soft compounds, B-Right stays out for an extra lap. The Ferraris have got to do something here now. As the Red Bulls, the chase is on. Nick gets through on Gennady on the fresher tyres. Gennady doing well here. Not a single safety car in this race. Banter Brandon is through on Ryan. Not much of a fight put up there. The Ferrari is through on the McLaren. Ryan did 21 laps on the mediums. Oh, Dennis is held up by the McLaren there. Jack has left the session. Hopefully he can get back in. Remember, B-Right is into the pit lane on them softs. And Ryan is staying out. B-Right is on his way out of the pit lane. And Ryan is fighting here with Dennis. 22 laps on the mediums. And Dennis just going through. Here comes Ryan. Where is B-Right? Here comes Maxi Block in the Red Bull. And down the inside goes Maxi Block. And he is through. Here comes Illyrian as well. Yeah, he goes straight through in the Mercedes. Ryan just backing off before the corner there. Next up is B-Right. Remember, the Red Bulls chasing down the Ferraris now. And Sendro is 4 seconds in front of the Ferraris still. He has done a couple of extra laps on them hard tyres. So Nick is through on Sergio Silva. The Aston Martin is through going down towards turn 4. 22 laps on the mediums now for Ryan as he goes into the final corner. Just Ryan trying to defend against B-Right. Really silly, actually. And he'll box now. Yeah, he did the exact same 2 weeks ago. Stayed out until Ben caught up to him and then went into the pits. Exactly the same situation. He did the same 2 weeks ago. Stayed out in Mexico on 19-lap-old mediums when they only last like 12 laps. And then Ben passed him and he went into the pits. You are kidding me. Oh my god, did you see that? You know why that is? Because loads of people are leaving and rejoining. I can't even save the video. I can't believe that. It's everyone. Oh no. Oh, no way. I've never had that one before. Fuck's sake.